Friends, guests, dignitaries, spouses, children, families, and my brothers and sisters in service. On behalf of the Hamilton Fire Department, welcome. Welcome to our retirement recognition of Fire Chief Joe Schutte, the change of command ceremony for the Hamilton Fire Department, the swearing in of our new fire chief, and a promotional ceremony for 3 additional fine men on our job. Before we get started, how about a round of applause for the Baden High School chorus who sang so beautifully for us earlier. Very talented group. Fine job, thank you. As you can see from the agendas on your tables, we have an exceptional event planned for this evening. However, before we get things underway, I want you to please take this moment, silence your phones, pagers, any other electronic devices you may have. For the men and women here on duty, if you could set your radios to half volume, I think that should suffice. All right, and now if everyone could please stand and remain standing, we're going to start with the posting of the colors.
Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard, attention. Howard. Detail, right, face. Outward, arch, and roll.
Thank you. Please remain standing for an invocation by Mr. Bob Short.
I have done this at several promotional ceremonies, and I felt like I ought to do just what I have done in the past. We're here a recognition gathering, and rightly so. But I wanted to read a few verses of Scripture because that is who we need to recognize most of all, is the good Lord, because He makes things possible for us. And you don't have to take my word. I'm going to read a few verses of Scripture here, and then I'll have a prayer. Giving thanks unto the Father, which has made us meet to be partakers of the inheritance of the saints in light, who hath delivered us from the power of darkness and has translated us into the kingdom of His dear Son, in whom we have redemption through His blood, even the forgiveness of sins, who is the image of the invisible God, the firstborn of every creature. For by Him were all things created, that are in heaven and that are in earth, visible and invisible, whether they be thrones or dominions or principalities or powers. All things were created by him and for him. And he is before all things, and by him all things consist. Let us pray. Lord, we come before you at this gathering. We ask that you would come and be in the midst with us. We are not much use to us if you don't come and be with us. We're glad to have the people here gathered out for this ceremony and this recognition. We ask that you would bless each and every one that's here. Give us health. Give us a desire to serve you, Lord, above everything we ask. Amen.
Thank you, Bob. Whenever firefighters gather in official business, whether it be in a union meeting, a convention, or ceremonies such as this, it's always fitting to take a moment of silence. A moment of silence for personal reflection, mediation, or additional prayer. A moment to remember our brothers who have lost their lives in the line of duty, those who have succumbed prematurely due to the perils of our occupation, and those brothers and sisters injured or ill, their families. Thank you. Please remain standing for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now our national anthem by Tori Getz.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You can be seated. I believe it's only appropriate to recognize a couple people at this point whom you've already seen, and some you're going to see again later. First, the Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard, which tonight consisted of Engineer Jeff Kahn on the bagpipes with Engine 24, Lieutenant Matt Garland, Quint 21, Engineer Ed Avery, Quint 27, Firefighter Dave Oakley, Tower 22, Paramedic Dan Bagley from Medic 21, Fire Investigator Tom Ongst. Tom also led us in the Pledge of Allegiance tonight. Lieutenant Nate Robertson, Tower 22, also as Deputy Commander of the Honor Guard, and Captain Jeff Shaw, Acting C Shift Commander and Commander of Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard. Semper Fi, Cap. He does it every time. Giving our invocation tonight and benediction a little later this evening is Mr. Bob Short. Bob's a retired Hamilton Fire Captain from Engine 2, or Company 2 in those days. Bob is, to date, the longest serving president of Hamilton Firefighters Union, IAFF Local 20. And he's the only President Emeritus of that organization. He also serves on Hamilton Civil Service Commission and as a parliamentarian for the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters. But more importantly for us gathered here, who wear the uniform, he serves in a position that was resurrected by Chief Schutte, and that's chaplain. Bob's been at every fire department function I've ever been to. Probably the only person who could ever say that. So his dedication speaks for itself. He's a true man of integrity, honor, and faith. Captain Short, thanks. My name's Bill Quinn, and I'm proud to say that I'm a Hamilton firefighter. I've been fortunate to hold many positions throughout my career on the fire department and a couple positions within the ranks of the IAFF. Additionally, I serve on the state EMS board and fire board. Tonight, I'm going to be your MC. My career path has crossed on multiple occasions with many of the men you see here tonight, both on the stage and in the audience. I know each of them well. They're all good men. The City of Hamilton and the Hamilton Fire Department is fortunate to have those rising into the positions to which they hold. Chief, it's an honor to be selected to serve tonight. Thank you. A little recognition of some dignitaries that are here. We have the Honorable James Walsh. He's a retired judge serving in the 12th District Court of Appeals. Mr. Pat Moeller, Mayor of the City of Hamilton. Chief Jim Whitworth from the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association. Assistant Chief Rick Prince, who's president of the Butler County Fire Chiefs. Mr. Jeff Galloway, director of the Butler County Emergency Management Agency. I see some other dignitaries that are here. I believe Sheriff Jones is here. We have the prosecutor here, Mike Mosier. And if there's anybody that I missed, Danny Crank. Thanks, Danny. He's a longtime supporter of the Hamilton Fire Department. I wish to welcome you all a very warm welcome. And once again, if I've missed anybody or skipped over you, it was not intentional. My apologies, and we're just happy that you've joined us here tonight. So on to the man of the hour. I'll bet nobody told you this was a roast, did they? Oh, buddy. Yeah, we figured if we would, you wouldn't show. So, Mom's here. That cuts a lot out of my dialogue. Joseph Paul Schutte, Fire Chief, City of Hamilton, Ohio, retiring from service on September 7th, 2012. Little personal history. Joe was born on February 29th, 1956. February 29th, leap year. I did a Wikipedia search on leap years. Here's what I found. In the Gregorian calendar, current standard calendar in most of the world, years are divided by 4. Every 4th year is a leap year. In the month of February, they added the extra day on the 29th. This compensates for the fact that the solar year is 6 years longer, 365 days. By adding an extra day, a leap day to the calendar, they catch up. So basically it's a catch-up. I understand you've been playing catch-up ever since. And you know, I got thinking about this, and according to the Ohio Police and Fire Pension System, for a member to be eligible for retirement, they have to be 48 years old, 25 years of service. So if you add it up, Joe, you're only 14. It explains the height, but the hair throws me. Joe was born the oldest of 8 children, 3 sisters and 4 brothers. Good Catholic family, and I'm certain that after all you've put your mother through, she's undoubtedly going to be canonized directly by papal order. You know, you should be ashamed. Joe's parents, Paul and Mary Lou Schutte. His wife, Pam. 5 children, Andy, Amy, Tim, Kevin, and Karen. Joe has 7 grandchildren: Quentin, Mason, Kurt, Morgan, Willow, Landon, and Jaden. You know, being a grandpa myself, I completely understand the light you see in Joe's eyes whenever you mention his grandchildren. It makes it all worth it. Makes it all worth it. He grew up in a family home in East Hamilton. He attended Catholic schools and graduated from Stephen T. Baden High School in 1974. Really? 74? Were you held back? Chief Schuete's career has spanned over 32 years with the Hamilton Fire Department. On April 19th, 1980, he was hired as a firefighter. I graduated in 1980. On September 11th, 1982, he was promoted to paramedic. On January 4th, 1989, he was promoted to lieutenant. And on June 4th, 1992, he was promoted to the rank of captain. June 28th, 1996, he rose to the rank of deputy chief. And on June 14th, 2001, he was promoted to the highest position in the department, fire chief. Tomorrow, September 7th, 2012, he retires. Some of the career highlights of Joe as fire chief: in 2001, it started before he was promoted to the Hamilton Fire Department chief. He and I worked together quite closely during what was the biggest threat this fire department had ever known, and that was the closure of a fire station. Joe was still a deputy chief in training at the time, but we knew he was about to become the fire chief. I was president of IFF Local 20 at the time, and after an early morning phone call from one of those infamously long council meetings that used to take place during that era, the union was forced to launch in to the most aggressive campaign they've ever undertook to educate the elected leaders of the city, as well as the citizens, to the devastating effects of City Council's decision to close a station and ultimately eliminate 12 positions. Chief Schuete worked whatever angle he could. Those of you that know him kind of know how he operates. Sometimes he's in front of the scene, sometimes he's behind the scenes. But he was always with the union, and he understood exactly what losing a company would mean. And as fire chief, that was something that he wasn't willing to accept. It turned out to be the most successful grassroots campaign anyone had ever experienced. In the span of 2 weeks, with the help of everyone, and I mean everyone, within the ranks of the Hamilton Fire Department, we had that issue killed. And contract language was to be in place that would guarantee our number of stations, the number of apparatus and staffing of the Hamilton Fire Department. Chief Schuete and I crafted that language on the 7th floor. I'm sure he remembers it. I know I do, like it was yesterday. That language still exists today, and it's provided for the safe and effective delivery of fire, emergency medical, and rescue services in the Hamilton Fire Department. Shortly thereafter, Joe officially became fire chief and established the first ever Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard. The Honor Guard truly exemplifies the professionalism and the diversity of the Hamilton Fire Department. In 2002, turned out to be a very busy year as well. We had successfully managed to bring the biennial conference of the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters to this very facility. It was the Hamiltonian at the time. It was a significant economic boost to this facility and to the city. Reports from the hotel indicated that it was the largest event they had ever hosted and the most profitable. I was union president then, and I can tell you this: without the assistance of Fire Chief Joe Schuete, the event just simply wouldn't have been the same. His support and the whatever you need attitude was key in ensuring our success, and that attitude's always been there. Later that year, after once again being turned away by City Council concerning staffing and the ever-increasing demand that was being placed on our paramedic units, Joe and I joined forces once again as fire chief and union president to run the most successful levy campaign in the history of the city of Hamilton. The 3rd Squad Levy, or Issue 10, as it was known, was probably the most personally stressful for me. Everything was at stake, but we pulled it off beautifully. Many, many, many people helped on issue 10. But, I truly want to extend my greatest appreciation to Chief Schutte. He was a large part of his success, and working with him made the impossible bearable. We had multiple presentations to the community, different groups, social organizations, fraternities. We went everywhere. Retirement centers, where there was lots of closed-door meetings, lots of behind-the-scenes planning of our strategy and what move to make next, and dealing with the never-ending barrage of criticism. Yet in the end, passage of issue 10 made it possible for the largest growth on the Hamilton Fire Department since the addition of the 3rd Platoon. It also afforded the 3rd Paramedic Unit, which serves the citizens of this city today. And I might add, it's probably saved a lot of lives, which is something we just don't have a way of tracking. But those in the uniform know. So in my opinion, it was the most successful thing that we've ever done. And Chief Schutte, I thank you. In 2005, Chief Schutte once again worked in conjunction with the union and initiated a wellness and fitness program for the fire department. I think everybody can think back to the days when firefighters weren't exactly your specimen of health. The development of this program not only secured significant federal grants for training and equipment for every fire station, which we still utilize to this day, it made real, tangible improvements in the health of Hamilton's firefighters. Public Safety Medical Services, who initiated and managed the program, conducted a 5-year study utilizing our wellness and fitness program. That initiative and the results were amazing, and the success of the program has been used by Public Safety Medical as a model for other fire departments to utilize when implementing wellness and fitness initiatives. Other accomplishments of Chief Schutte include everything from changing the paint color on our apparatus from whatever that color was, green, yellow, safety green, to our current red with black top. He established a tech rescue program in the county USAR team in conjunction with Ohio Task Force 1. He helped design and establish and implement the county-wide 800 megahertz radio system. And I might add that he alone defended the taxpayers of this county by keeping the commissioners honest in the funding sources for that radio system. He established the promotional ceremonies that we have within the fire department, recognized the men and the women who are being promoted, their sacrifice and their commitment, and affording an opportunity for their families to share in the event of their promotion. Although it's faded from many memories, Joe led the department in this community through the national tragedy of September 11th. Locally, he's led us through tragedies here at home. The fatal fire on Herm Street, the fatal fire on Houston Street, the training accident and near drowning that we suffered at the low-level dam, as well as other significant fires, accidents, and acts of nature. He's been an involved and an engaged fire chief. His honors and awards: 2002 Distinguished Graduate Award of St. Julie Billard School. 2004, he was the Ohio Fire Chief of the Year from the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters. In 2005, he was Citizen of the Year for the Knights of Columbus. Joe's a member of St. Joseph's Catholic Church, the International Firefighters Local 20, where he served as a past Vice President and a past Secretary Treasurer. He's a member of the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters, the International Association of Fire Chiefs, the Ohio Fire Chiefs, Butler County Fire Chiefs, where he served as a past president, the Southwest Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, where he served as past president. He was in leadership class Hamilton, number 13. He Served on the Butler County Radio Advisory Board and co-chaired with the Butler County Chiefs of Police. Belongs to the Hamilton Rotary, the Butler Council of the Knights of Columbus, and he's a graduate of the Ohio Fire Executive Program. You know, really, you haven't done a whole lot. Yeah. Chief Joe Schutte. Name means a lot to a lot of different people. And we're going to hear from them tonight in just a minute. For me, the name means, above all else, honesty, loyalty, and integrity. I've traveled all around and interacted with hundreds of fire chiefs. Some good, most not so good. The thing about Chief Schutte, as a fireman, you always knew he had your back. Always. Oftentimes I've heard chiefs refer to firefighters on their department as those guys. Those guys. To Chief Schutte, we've always been my guys. Congratulations on your retirement, Chief. It's well earned and well deserved, old buddy. Okay, as promised, we're going to hear for several others who would like to speak and say a little bit and have a little more insight into the man behind the badge. We're going to start off with retired Hamilton Fire Department Lieutenant Denny Ryder. Denny?
Thank you. I'm here to represent the Hamilton Fire Department Retirees Organization. As you may not know, once you retire from the fire department, we like to keep everybody involved in the fire department, let them know what's going on, let them know what's going on in the state association. So on behalf of the retirees, I would like to welcome you into our organization. Sparky will talk to you about the dues. But Joe has been a big help to our organization because anytime he has anything that he wants to put out to retirees, he notifies me, and then I try to notify everybody else. And I'm sure Chief Dawson is going to be much involved with our organization also. So once again, on behalf of the retirees, I'd like to welcome you into our organization, and he's been a big help, very good, close personal friend of mine, and good luck on your retirement.
Thanks, Denny. Director of the Butler County EMA, Jeff Galloway.
Come on, you have to stand up. I know it'll be more than once. So, from Butler County Emergency Management, we have a small plaque here. It's basic. It reads in recognition for Chief Joseph Schutte for his contributions and partnership to the Butler County Emergency Management Agency and to the regional emergency response teams. And all I can say is, Chief, thank you. You have been a key, intricate part of the Butler County Hazardous Materials team with a unit and hazmat techs, Butler County Technical Rescue team, a lot of people that you pushed into there. Our 2-year endeavor, maybe going on 3 years now, of our regional water rescue team, which I like to say they're finally doing their first training next week, the entire county region. So hats off to you. And then finally, for allowing a lot of your members to be on our new county, Butler County Incident Management team, which has been a great endeavor. So from EMA and the partnership you have with us, thank you, and we will miss you. Thank you. Thanks, Chief.
Mr. Jim Whitworth, Director of the Southwest Ohio Fire Chiefs Association.
When I walked in, Joe's eyes rolled. What stories are you going to tell from the streets of Dallas? In the interest of all the other folks who want to get up here and say a few words, I'll forego that, Joe.
Thank you.
But I wanted to...
From the bottom of my heart.
From the bottom of his heart, yes. Yeah. There will be a payback for that
Yes,
later.
there will.
On behalf of the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, it gives me great pleasure to be here in honor of Joe and all the years of service that he's given, the dedication, the passion that you've had, Joe. And I'll present you this evening with your active lifetime membership in the Ohio Fire Chiefs.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Joe.
That's good.
Mayor for the City of Hamilton, Mayor Pat Moeller.
Beware of a bald guy bringing gifts. We'll get to those in just a second here. First off, good evening. It's an honor to be here representing Hamilton City Council and City Administration. We have here, I know, Council Member Kathy Klink, Director Nadine Hill, many others. Our City Manager Joshua Smith is also here. But congratulations to Steve Dawson as well as Chief Joe Schutte as they enter new chapters of their lives. The common thread of those chapters is that Chief Dawson and Chief Schutte's life work, their life work, has been protecting citizens and fellow firefighters from harm's way. For Chief Schutte, worked over 32 years dedicated to fire safety and emergency medical services, whether it be saving Hamiltonians from fires, providing command leadership, and protecting firefighters while they're on the second floor of smoke-filled buildings, or firefighters crawling on the floor of arsoned buildings, or making medical squad runs involving the young and the old. Plus, Joe's a real native son of Hamilton. He was born here, raised his family here, lived here, worked here, a true Hamilton hero. Now, I've got some things to present to you in recognition of your 32 years. If you'll please stand up here. All righty. What could be the longest proclamation ever prepared. Some of it you already heard. I'll kind of go through those fast and slow down on the other ones. Office of the Mayor and City Council proclamation. Whereas Joseph Paul Schutte was born in Hamilton, Ohio, February 29th, 1956, to Paul and Mary Lou Schutte, and was raised in the family's home on the east side of Hamilton, where he attended Catholic grade schools and graduated from Baden High School. Whereas Joe Schutte was hired by the Hamilton Fire Department as a firefighter in 1980, promoted to paramedic in 1982, was promoted to lieutenant in 1989, was promoted to captain in 1992, deputy chief in 1996, promoted to fire chief in 2001. Whereas Chief Schutte retired from the Hamilton Fire Department on September 7, 2012, after more than 32 years of service to the fire department in the city. During his tenure with the fire department, Chief Schutte accomplished numerous objectives, many of which you've already heard about, but I think they're definitely well worth repeating, as well as some additional ones, including establishing the first fire department honor guard, spearheading the passage of a tax levy that afforded the 3rd Medic Unit, bringing the OAPFF State Firefighter Convention to Hamilton, initiating the health and wellness program for the fire department, establishing the Tech Rescue program with the Butler County USAR team and Ohio Task Force 1, designing and implementing the countywide 800 megahertz radio system, establishing a change of command ceremony and promotional ceremonies for the fire department, and leading the department and community through local and national tragedies, such as September 11th attacks, the fatal Herm Street fire, the training accident at the low-level dam, as well as Hurricane Ike. And whereas Chief Schutte's efforts have resulted in well-deserved honors, such as the 2002 Distinguished Graduate Award from St. Julie Billiard School, 2004 OAPFF Ohio Fire Chief of the Year Award, and 2005 Knights of Columbus Citizen of the Year Award. And whereas as a married family man raising 5 children in Hamilton, Chief Schutte has also served the community in numerous capacities outside of his duties as the fire department through organizations such as St. Joseph Catholic Church, past Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer of IAFF Local 20, International Association of Fire Chiefs, Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, past President of the Butler County Fire Chiefs Association, past President of Southwest Ohio Fire Chiefs Association. What that means is this man's a real leader amongst firefighters. When you're in charge of all those organizations, that alone is very impressive. Leadership Hamilton, Class 13, co-chair of Butler County Radio Advisory Board, Hamilton Rotary Club, Knights of Columbus, and Ohio Fire Executive Program. Now, therefore, I, Pat Moeller, Mayor of the City of Hamilton, Ohio, as well as members of Hamilton City Council, do hereby proudly recognize Joseph Paul Schutte for his 32-plus years of dedication and service to the City of Hamilton, Ohio, and its residents, and wish him the very best in his retirement. Signed by myself and acknowledged by members of Council.
Thank you, Mayor.
There you go, Joe.
Appreciate that.
Now, you deserve more.
Oh,
I'm going to put that down here.
okay.
Okay. As a true native son of Hamilton and 32 years of service to the community, to me and to all of council, it was a no-brainer to also give you the key to the City of Hamilton, Ohio. And not many of those are given, Joe. Okay? All right. All right, there's something else too. I mean, this is great stuff, but there's something which I got to give you as well, okay? Got a letter, not from Ireland, but from a place called South Bend, Indiana. I'm going to read this letter to you, okay? No, you're not going to be the fire chief of South Bend. Okay. All righty. It says, August 1st, 2012. Dear Joe, it has been brought to my attention that after many years of service and dedication to the Hamilton Fire Department, you are retiring. Your co-workers have told us that you are an extremely dedicated fan of our football team, University of Notre Dame. And you even used the weekly staff meetings to break down that week's game. The first 1 full minute of our staff meetings in the fall was a breakdown of Notre Dame's football game. There's been some good staff meetings and some bad staff meetings. Oh, yeah. Your continuing support is indeed a confirmation that we represent a very special university. Thank you. Joe, there is no doubt that you have touched the lives of many, not only throughout your career as fire chief of the Hamilton Fire Department, but also with your family and friends. Best wishes to you, and may you enjoy good health and happiness for years to come. Sincerely, Brian Kelly, head football coach, University of Notre Dame. So, there you go. Now, I put that into a frame, so some of the other guys may want to tear that up. It's going to be tougher to tear up in a frame. But no, you deserve that. You're a big fan. So, Joe, it's been an honor also to work with you, and I find you to be also a friend, and I thank you for your years of friendship as well. Thank you. Okay? I sure appreciate it. Thank you, Joe. Yeah. You can put that in your pile of stuff as well. Now, a few words about Chief Steve Dawson. I know you're ready, willing, and able to assume the fire command. I wish you the best of luck. I know I look forward to working with you as I have already, but may God bless Chief Joe Schutte as well as Chief Steve Dawson. Yeah. Thank you. My notes up there. Thank you.
You're welcome. Now we're going to hear from Chief Schutte's eldest son, Andrew Schutte.
It's just funny that Dad gets a key to the city, but what he cares about most is a letter from football coach. I mean, whatever. So you guys are hearing a lot about everything that my dad's done over the last 32 years, but while he was doing all that, he was taking care of us, 5 kids. That could be what's wrong with me. But, you know, I don't think there's a fire station in this city that we haven't done homework in, ate dinner in. A lot of the guys that are retired, Mr. Ryder and a bunch of other people here, knew me when I was a kid, baby. And parades and all these things. It's just special to me and all my brothers and sisters to have such a big family. No matter what part of the town that you're in, if you're ever in trouble, you could go to the fire station because someone there knew who you were. Or if they didn't, you say you're chief's son and then everything's good. I just want to tell you a little story. It was funny. I didn't take the dispatch number when it changed out of my phone, so I used to end up calling dispatch to get a hold of my dad when I was 16 or 17 years old. And the first time I got pulled over, they got a hold of him right away. So we were at a Reds game not long ago, and I made a comment that when Dad retires, I'm either going to have to drive slower or change my last name to Dawson. There's not much I can say that everyone here probably doesn't already know. I mean, really, my dad worked 2 jobs. We put us all through private school. He now takes care of my kid and my brothers and sisters' children just as much as we do sometimes. Still found time to brainwash us into the Notre Dame thing. But, you know, he'll never really be retired. We all know that. He'll never be able to stop, just longer naps. But I don't know. Congratulations. He deserves it. We had this picture taken. This is all of my dad's grandchildren. Probably the last time that they'll be able to sit on a fire truck in front while he was on duty and everything. So you'll be able to hang that up and remember that.
Certainly will.
Hi, I'm Joe's wife, Pam. And as a firefighter's wife, I want to thank all the other firefighters for keeping Joe alive all this time. You know, the other wives know what I'm talking about. You know, when he first came on, the nights of worry, is he going to come home in the morning? And he always came home. So I want to thank you guys for keeping him here all this time for us. Thank you.
Okay, on your program it says John Harvey from the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters. But I'm going to be filling in. It started off our state president, Mark Sanders, was going to be here, but honestly, after Senate Bill 5 battle and the pension reform battle, which is going to the House floor tomorrow for a vote, union business leave in Cincinnati was kind of sparse. So John was going to fill in, and unfortunately, due to John's a fire lieutenant in Middletown Fire Department, and they're kind of struggling with staffing themselves, and John got mandated this morning. So he's on duty as well. But as Director of Operations for the OEPFF, I have a couple things from our organization for the fire chief. Those cigars are mine. Oh. Got a plaque. It says, Chief Joe Schutte, thank you for your years of unwavering support of the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters, September 6, 2012. I have a letter here from President Sanders who... Did we skip somebody? I got you. I got a letter from President Sanders. It says, Dear Brother Schutte, on behalf of the 12,000 active and retired members of the Ohio Association of Professional Firefighters, it is my honor to thank you for your dedicated service to Ohio's professional firefighters and the citizens that you have protected during your career. I'm very sorry that I can't be in attendance this evening to personally recognize your achievements as I'm on duty tonight. Believe me, I'm there in spirit. We've worked side by side in many capacities over the past couple decades. As fire service professionals, as IAFF local union affiliate leaders, as OAPFF committee members, and through the Ohio Fire Chiefs Association, I can attest that you have been a true professional in all of your endeavors. Your commitment to working with the OAPFF 457 Plan Advisory Committee helped this program turn the corner to become a growing and vibrant operation. We hope that you will be available in some capacity in the future to continue to offer your advice and counsel as we move to reorganize and improve the workings of the committee. Whether you're working as an employee advocate or representing the City of Hamilton in the esteemed rank of Fire Chief, your commitment to doing the right thing has never wavered. Again, it's an honor and a pleasure to be a part of this great evening. Your brothers and sisters in this great union wish you a healthy, happy, and well-deserved retirement. Sincerely and fraternally, Mark Sanders. And now we need Mr. Rick Prince, President of the Butler County Fire Chiefs.
Thank you. I don't know how you follow up with a letter from the football coach at Notre Dame, but I'm going to do my best. Come on up here, Joe. On behalf of the Butler County Fire Chiefs, we want to thank you for your many years of service, your leadership. You have always been an advocate to the Fire Chiefs Association. We greatly appreciate it. We want to thank you for your brotherhood, but most of all, your friendship. And the fire chiefs want to wish you a very healthy and happy retirement. And being a brother to the fire service, there will always be a cup of coffee waiting for you in the stations. There you go. So do not be a stranger, and congratulations. So on behalf of the Fire Chiefs Association, we have a couple things for you. This is your lifelong member card. Keep this in your wallet. It has Chief Dawson's number on the back of it in case you need some bail money. And we have a plaque here for you from the Fire Chiefs Association recognizing your years of service from 1980 to 2012. Congratulations, Joe.
I sure appreciate it.
Take care.
Now we have President of the Hamilton Professional Firefighters Association, Local 20, Eric Abney.
Thanks, Brother Quinn. Thanks for putting on a great event. Thanks to Captain Shaw for helping organize this. Thanks to Brother Short, President Emeritus Local 20. Always does a wonderful job. I like to call him the godfather of Local 20. He paved the way for guys like me, and also there's some members in here of past presidents of Local 20 I'd like to recognize. Along with Brother Short, Captain Steve Timmer is here, George Francis, Bill Quinn, and Lieutenant Blair, I believe, is here in the background. All members of Local 20 that stepped up, became presidents, led this great organization, and really makes my job today very, very easy. Also like to recognize Chief Moore, Chief who hired me. Sorry, Chief. And members of council, Mayor Moeller. Appreciate your presence here tonight. We've heard a lot of wonderful things about a wonderful man. And as president of Local 20, I'm here to set the record straight. First and foremost, Brother Schutte is a brother. He always puts the union first in his heart. He puts the guys first, as Brother Quinn said. Those are his guys, we're his guys, and we are one big family. And he served as Secretary Treasurer and Vice President of Local 20 under two of the most soft-spoken, easygoing presidents Local 20 has ever had, George Francis and Steve Timmer. So I commend him for his efforts there. That alone should probably got him a disability pension. And when he was Secretary Treasurer, he did it without computers, without Quicken programs, without the aid of anything but paper and pencil. And he did it well, and I have the books to prove some of those numbers. And I was kind of wondering what all those erase marks were to that trip to Hawaii. But we'll talk about that later. He negotiated contracts on the union side of the table. Back in the days when the city of Hamilton was broke. Seriously, they had no money. And he was able to provide not just pay and benefits for the membership, but provide safety measures that we still enjoy today. New turnout gear, simple things. Guys used to have to negotiate for how many sections of new hose they would have to get. Chief Schutte and Bob Schwartz remember those days. And just a few thoughts about the first time when I sat into Chief Schutte's office when I became president in November of 2006. And we didn't see eye to eye on a lot of items until I sat down. And then we were eye to eye. But his door was always open to me, not only as a fire chief, but as a fellow firefighter, a fellow brother from the union, and as a mentor and a leader to kind of head me in the right direction of where I needed to go. There were times I'd come into his office and I would be the maddest person you've ever seen, screaming, cussing at him, and stomping on his floor and hitting his table. And by the end of the meeting, I was walking out talking about Notre Dame football, and I have no idea how that happened. But he was a master at turning things around, and thankfully he was, because he was correct most of the time and showing me the way how I should be. As Bill mentioned, Chief Schutte was instrumental in the 3rd Squad levy, along with Paramedic Supervisor Jennifer Mason, Paramedic Coordinator now. And the one thing that will stick out in my time with Chief Schutte was, of course, April, when we had the river accident in 2007. I was 6 months on the job as Local 20 president, and I was playing basketball with our brothers and sisters from the FOP, and I came out in my car and I had about 30 missed calls. And I said, well, that's not good. And it wasn't good. And first thing we did is we sat with Chief Schutte, and we made a plan, and not only to look after our brothers who were injured, but the ones who were there on the scene who cared for our brothers and saved their lives. And it was Chief Schutte's leadership and dedication to his members that led us through that awful time. And I thank you for that, Chief. So, we have a little recognition for your service, and this is from the brothers and sisters of Local 20.
Oh, gee. Man.
And it's just the Firefighters Act that we appreciate all your hard work and efforts, and really has been a pleasure to serve as Local 20 President, Chief. Appreciate it.
Oh,
Appreciate it.
God, that is incredible. Oh, man.
Well, on to the man of the hour, the retirement address of Hamilton Fire Chief Joseph Paul Schutte.
Okay, thank you. Thank you all very much. I certainly wasn't expecting anything like this. I think these notes aren't going to do me justice for this wonderful evening tonight. As I said, it was totally unexpected. I guess I have a lot of thank yous here, and I'll as quickly as I can in the interest of time. I thought this would all be over with by now. Thank the Honor Guard, Commander Jeff Shaw, and Lieutenant Commander Nate Robertson, soon-to-be Chief Steve Dawson, I guess, for planning and arranging all this event here tonight. It's just an awesome, wonderful event, something beyond my imagination. Our bagpiper, Lieutenant Jeff Kahn, and all the rest of the Honor Guard for their participation. Certainly the OAPFF Operations Officer and past Local 20 Union President, and our own Bill Quinn for serving as the Master of Ceremonies here. And all of the speakers, Denny Ryder for the retirees, has been a true friend and a confidant since I came on the job. And a lot of it has to do with the fact that he is a very, very, very dedicated Notre Dame fan. Chief Whitworth from the State Fire Chiefs and Southwest Ohio Fire Chiefs, and served as president there for a couple terms. But it's not what you think. I wasn't elected because of any kind of speech or any kind of thing I did. I was at the Fire Chiefs Conference, and a chief named Randy Pavlik and I had a few drinks, and a few drinks led to a few more. And I woke up the next morning, and suddenly I was the president of the Southwest Ohio Fire Chiefs organization. So, and he promised me, swore to me that he would be at the very first meeting, because I had no idea. I'd never been to one of those meetings. What do you do? And he did not show. The secretary, treasurer, and the vice president were also new. They were new chiefs from their townships, so we just won it. You know, so it was nothing glamorous at any rate. Assistant Chief Rick Prinz from the Butler County Fire Chiefs and Westchester Fire Department. I appreciate that lifetime membership, and you know, I was really the baby of that group. No kidding, man. I go in there 11 years ago as chief, and there's chiefs in that organization been there 30, 40 years, and
My 11 years was nothing as a member there, but I sure appreciate all the friendships and working with those guys, and many of whom are here tonight, and I'm glad to see you and hope we get to shake your hand before you leave. Our EMA director, Jeff Galloway, just an awesome EMA director, and he and I hit it off well from the beginning. He is a true asset, not just to Hamilton, but to Butler County. He has the interests of emergency management and public safety, from law enforcement to fire protection to planning, emergency medical response, and that's a difficult job because he has to broker the relationships between police chiefs and fire chiefs and Sheriff Jones, and that's not always an easy task to do. But Jeff does it well, and I value our friendship. Mayor Moeller, you know, he's got to be one of the most compassionate and empathetic man I've ever known. Not only have we had a very good professional relationship, but also an endearing friendship, and one that I am proud of and certainly appreciate over these many, many years, because he is a true personal friend. Local 20 Hamilton Firefighters President Eric Abney. We've been through quite a bit together. He no more than took office and the recession was hitting. The first thing was the river accident. It's a difficult, you get the phone call that no chief or no union president ever wants to get. I always thought if it was going to happen, it would be at a fire, and to hear that it was a drowning, that it was a river accident, just was difficult to get my hands around. But the men and women on the fire department rallied together, and it's a difficult thing to go through, but I think we came through it stronger, and a lot in large part to Eric Abney's efforts and those of his E-board, the officers on the job, and just down to every individual. It's an incident like that can tear a department apart or bring them together. And many times, there were times that I thought, well, maybe this is going to shred the Hamilton Fire Department. But I should have known better. They're the finest group of men and women I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. And they came together and they rallied around their brothers. And fortunately, all four are with us today, and they're all working, and they're all back on the job. And Eric, I truly value the working relationship that we had. I truly do. And all the union presidents, started with Bill Quinn, Jeff Blair. We've all been through some tough times together, but we rallied together and we stayed together. And my son Andy, now that's a surprise. I had no idea you were coming up here, but I love my children, my wife, and I certainly owe a lot of debt of gratitude to all of them. So the moment has arrived, and to use a cliche, it is bittersweet. I've certainly enjoyed working with the finest group of men and women firefighters anywhere, bar none, and I will miss you all. There are a lot of people to thank for my standing here this evening. God has blessed me with caring parents, a loving wife and children, excellent teachers and mentors, and wise counselors in my life. I thank God for all those blessings that He has given me. I have to thank my parents, Paul and Mary Lou Schutte, for their love, understanding, and patience like no other. They led by example and expected each of us, their children, to stay close to God, to do our best, to be honest and truthful, and to lead, not just follow. Mom and Dad, I certainly love you, and I thank you for all that you've done for me and my family. Firefighters work a 24 on and a 48 off schedule, and while it has its advantages, there are times with family that one misses. And I know my wife Pam and our children had to make sacrifices too during my time on a truck, and particularly those times while preparing and studying for a promotional exam. I made birthdays and most ball games and plays and school events, but some did get missed, unfortunately. And I hated missing those, but I want to thank you, Pam, and my kids for understanding and for the support when I did miss something. You made it all worthwhile, and for that I love you. Now, there have been a few success stories for the Hamilton Fire Department in the past 11 years, and you've heard some of those tonight, but every one of them belongs to dedicated and committed members of our department. People who had vision, a resolve to excellence, and a determination to make our fire department and our city just a little bit better. From formation of the award-winning, and I do mean award-winning, Honor Guard by Captain Jeff Shaw and Lieutenant Nate Robertson that participates in parades and events in the cities, to a successful grant writing program by now retired Captain Steve Timmer and our EMS coordinator Jennifer Mason, saving tens of thousands of dollars in the general fund. Passage of a levy for a much-needed third squad, a campaign championed by then Union President Bill Quinn and his e-board, as well as our EMS coordinator Jennifer Mason and at the time Administrative Captain Steve Timmer, and a host, I mean down to a person, a host of firefighters, getting out the message and succeeding in passing that levy at a time when the city manager then did not believe it had much of a chance. It passed overwhelmingly by about 68%, as I recall. To the citizens of Hamilton, I, along with all the men and women of the fire department, thank you for your support. If you voted with us, we certainly appreciate it, and I thank you. And if not, that's fine too. That's the American way. I'm grateful for the excellent staff that I was privileged to have of working with, especially as chief. Our soon-to-be Chief Steve Dawson was a good right-hand man for me. I appreciated his counsel and his guidance through some very, very difficult times and difficult decisions. And I've been just as fortunate to work with passionate members of City Council, City Administration, and City Managers, people who wanted nothing but the best for the city. I thank you and appreciate all the support you have given me over these past 11 years. Now, the saying goes that behind every good man is an even better woman. And I certainly have too, and my mother and my wife. But behind every good or successful fire chief is a good woman. And I was privileged to have three. Three of the best. And now, before you hear the story, it is true that most secretaries go through fire chiefs, 2 or 3 or 4, and not many fire chiefs. It had nothing to do with our relationships together. They just happened to be at retirement age. But it started with Frankie McKinnon and Karen George, and today, Gwenna Markham. And I'm going to tell you that a lot of the accomplishments that happened in the fire department over the years would never have happened if we did not have the talented and the competent and the professional and the dedicated secretaries in the office every day. I love them all. And Gwenna, I'm really going to miss you, truly. You have been nothing, not only but true professional, but a very, very dear friend. And I thank you for all that you've done. I've been very fortunate in my life. This job has afforded me opportunities that I never would have had. If I hadn't been chief, I shook hands with the president, and I've had lunch with the governor, just to name a few, and I've been places I know I'd never been to. And I thank the citizens of Hamilton for this opportunity. There are challenges ahead, and I know Chief Dawson and his staff are prepared and ready to confront those challenges, to embrace them, and lead this department, all while making sure that the good citizens here in Hamilton are provided the best in pre-hospital emergency care and competent, capable, and swift responding fire suppression forces. The citizens of Hamilton have supported us through my years as a union representative, as well as those years as chief. They deserve nothing less than the best in fire department services. The past 4 years have been particularly difficult to manage and lead a fire department. And not just a fire department, but police department, public works, essentially any public or private institution. This has been and continues to be a problem economy. But this fire department and her members have never cowered from challenges. We always sought to engage in conversation and negotiation to provide the best in services to our public. And I would expect nothing less from Chief Dawson and the members of this fire department today. I'm confident Chief Dawson will lead this department with passion and determination, leaving it a little bit better than he receives it tonight. I wish him well. Finally, I think the legacy of any fire chief is the personnel that he or she hires. Anything I wrote, rule, regulation, an SOP, an SOG. That can all be changed with the stroke of a pen by the next chief. But the men and women that I've hired are with the department 20 to 25 years. Therefore, to those of you here tonight whom I hired, and that includes anyone from firefighter Dan Bauman on, he was my first hire, please remember that. I believe in each of you, or I would not have hired you. You are entrusted with the reputation of some very fine men and women firefighters who have long since retired, but have set a standard for this department that cannot be breached. Do nothing to dishonor or reproach her. Guard her name and guard this city jealously. In doing so, you not only honor the good name of the city of Hamilton and the Hamilton Fire Department, but you honor every member of the Hamilton Fire Department who has gone before us. I'd like to thank TV Hamilton and the Marriott and all who helped make this evening a very special one for me and for my family, as well as those who are about to be promoted. A very exciting time for them all. This is my last address to you as your chief. As I said earlier, it is bittersweet. From now on, I'm just plain old Joe, Hamilton citizen. I will treasure the friendships. I will cherish the memories. And yet I will look confidently with eager anticipation to new adventures in the years to come for me, my family, and for all of you on the fire department. Good luck to all. God bless you, and God bless this wonderful city and this wonderful fire department. Thank you.
Okay. At this time, I'm going to ask the Honorable James Walsh and Chief Dawson's family to please come forward for the swearing-in ceremony. Judge Walsh retired out of the 12th District Court of Appeals, where he served the citizens of Butler, Warren, Clinton, Preble, Claremont, Brown, Fayette, and Madison counties. He's been a judge for 30 years. Judge Walsh will be swearing in Deputy Chief Dawson as Fire Chief for the City of Hamilton. Little biography and background on Steve Dawson. He was hired on the 8th of September, 1984, promoted to lieutenant on the 13th of April, 1991. He was promoted to captain April 4th, 1995, where I might add I had the privilege to serve as his first driver on Engine 4. He was promoted to deputy chief on the 15th of July, 1999, and promoted to chief on September 6th, 2012. Interesting fact about Chief Dawson, he's come out #1 on every promotional test he's ever taken, and I believe on the captain's test he achieved a perfect score. Certifications include paramedic. He was a member of the 1st River Rescue Team on the Hamilton Fire Department. He's a rope rescue technician, confined space rescue technician, and he served as captain of the Hamilton Hazmat Team from 1995 through 1997. He was the Fire Prevention Bureau Chief from 1999 through 2008, and as C-Shift Commander from 2008 to the present. Judge Walsh, if you would please, sir.
Steve, would you raise your right hand, please? Thank you. Repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Stephen Allen Dawson,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and obey
that I will support and obey
the Constitution and laws of the United States and the state of Ohio,
the Constitution and laws of the United States and the state of Ohio,
and that I will in all respects
and that I will in all respects
observe the provisions
of
the charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the city of Hamilton, Ohio,
of the charter, ordinances, and resolutions of the city of Hamilton, Ohio,
and will faithfully discharge the duties of the office of the Chief of Police of the Hamilton Ohio Fire, Chief of the Hamilton Ohio Fire Department.
of the Chief of the Hamilton, Ohio Fire Department.
Yes, thank you. Congratulations. Let me give you a first salute, buddy.
Thank you, Judge Walsh. And that was Chief Dawson's father holding the Bible when he was sworn in. At this time, could we have Mayor Pat Moeller please come forward for the change of command? Change of command ceremonies are steeped in tradition. They're rich in military history, and these ceremonies predate the Norman conquest of England. They're formal, symbolic passing of authority and accountability of command from one leader to another. The ceremony also provides the outgoing leader an opportunity to say goodbye to those who have been under his command, and for the new commanding officer to formally meet personnel now who are under his charge. With the swearing in of Fire Chief Steve Dawson, the change of command is now a Hamilton Fire Department tradition that represents a formal transfer of authority and responsibility from the department from one fire chief to the next. These ceremonies, as you will see, require respect and dignity to the office of the fire chief, and they're taken quite seriously by all those who participate. The change of command ceremony is best described by a quote from Victor Hugo: "Change your leaves, keep intact your roots." The passing of the colors, or the standards and ensigns, from an outgoing commander to an incoming one ensures that the unit, or in our case, the fire department, its firefighters, its fire officers, are never without leadership. It is a continuation of trust. It also signifies an allegiance of the members to their commander. The traditions of a change of command ceremony include great symbolism. An inspection or review of personnel, salutes, and a celebration are often part of the ceremony. Most change of command ceremonies are a mixture of ritual punctuated by silence. They begin with preliminary honors, and they end with a symbolic passing of the colors. For those of you who are unfamiliar with the term colors, it is a flag that identifies a company, a troop, or an organization. Passing the colors from one chief to another represents the passing of trust and well-being of the department and its men from one chief to the other. This symbolic gesture also perpetuates the seamless tradition of vigilance, service, honor, and integrity. With all uniformed personnel standing at attention, the outgoing chief passes the colors to the new chief. The new chief recognizes the outgoing chief with a simple statement: "Sir, I assume command." Chief Schutte, Mayor Moeller, Fire Chief Dawson, please take your positions. Captain Shaw.
All uniformed members of the fire service, please rise to the position of attention. Upon my command, render a hand salute throughout the ceremony. Deputy Commander, Lieutenant Robertson, retrieve the colors. Uniform members, present.
Ready? Face.
Sir, I assume command. Ready, face. Ready, face.
Lieutenant Robertson, post the colors. Uniform personnel, order! Uniform personnel, you may be seated.
Thank you. This time we'll have the acceptance address by Hamilton Fire Department Fire Chief Steve Dawson.
Thank you very much, and I want to extend a special thank you to my family, both tables, and my friends for attending this event. And also, just to clarify something, I want to thank Captain Jeff Shaw, wherever he is. He's the actual one that actually planned and organized this entire event, and I think he did a very fine job. When I told him I just wanted a military-style change of command ceremony, I had no idea of what extent he would go through. So this is a very, very fine event, and I thank Captain Jeff Shaw for that. Also, I want to wish Chief Schutte well in his retirement, and I really hope that the Notre Dame football team does not continue to disappoint you year after year. And it's not too late to change teams if you want to. But anyway, I wish you well. As most of you probably know in this room, we are a very old, proud, traditional fire department with a very noteworthy history of service, of dedication, of professionalism, and of sacrifice. Actually, the first beginnings of the fire department, the Hamilton Fire Department, our professional fire department, started back in the 1820s. And the first firehouse was built in 1828. And I should say, since that time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, holidays, whether it was a blizzard outside and 10 degrees below zero, or it was 100 degrees Fahrenheit and blistering heat, the Hamilton Fire Department has responded to all those types of all sort of emergencies over those years. And recently, we just had a ceremony to celebrate, or not to celebrate, to remember the 100th anniversary of the famous courthouse fire of 2012, which claimed the lives of 3 Hamilton firefighters. Also with that, throughout our entire history, we have actually had, tragically, 11 firefighters who have died in the line of duty. So you can't sit in any firehouse, and most of the retirees know, without hearing stories of hard-fought structure fires or dramatic rescues, and those have all become part of our tradition and handed down. There are probably very many stories that actually have been forgotten through time. Probably some of the retirees remember stories that the newer firefighters aren't even aware of. But anyway, that's our history and how how we have built our traditions. Even in my career, I have observed acts of courage in which firefighters have put themselves in harm's way in order to conduct a search or effect a rescue. And keeping with our history too and our traditions, the Hamilton Fire Department can actually boast, which many of you already know, of the oldest local union, professional firefighters union in the state of Ohio, which is Local 20 of the International Association of Firefighters. Local 20 is actually one of the oldest locals in the entire nation, with being ranked 20, with thousands of others ranked well behind him. I think Local 20 was formed in 1917. It's correct. So all of our traditional values are built on that history of service and a history of dedication, and define who we are as the Hamilton Fire Department and the perceptions that we have of ourselves. But even though we still observe those traditional values and customs of the fire service, today we are a very modern fire department, very busy in the delivery of our emergency services to our citizens. Our training, our equipment, our operating procedures are all on par with the current national standards for the fire service. A lot of these things were already touched on, but we've practiced NIMS, the National Incident Management Service Incident Command System. We've received training from Homeland Security in weapons of mass destruction. We have the most updated communications equipment. We can talk very well to each other. We can talk to any other fire unit or police agency or support agency in the county and beyond. So we're a very modern fire department in that regard. In 1978, Hamilton organized and started one of the first paramedic program in this entire area. And today, 79 of our 107 firefighters are nationally certified paramedics. That's a significant number. That's over the majority of the fire departments. 79 out of 107 are certified as paramedics. In the state of Ohio, our EMS delivery system or volume runs ranks eighth in volume of runs for our EMS system. Very impressive. And it was my opinion that our paramedic system, our EMS system, is one of the best around, second to none. Our experienced paramedics, the skills they possess, the training, the up-to-date the equipment they have are second to none. And I always joke to a lot of people, if you're ever going to have a heart attack, the best place to have a heart attack is actually in the city of Hamilton, because you're going to receive the highest and best level of paramedic care. We have a hazardous material team that was formed in the 1980s, and now that hazardous material team is part of the Butler County Co-op hazardous material team. And that team is actually rated as a regional level 1 team, which by a national standard, level 1 being the highest standards, makes us eligible to respond anywhere in the region or even beyond if needed. We have a river rescue team that we provide the citizens to Hamilton, and also we provide to other entities in the county. We have members of our department that are members of Ohio Task Force 1 FEMA. That's the team that goes to the natural disasters such as hurricanes and floods. We have members that are part of the Butler County Tech Rescue Team, and all of our firefighters are certified as fire safety inspectors. So we're a very modern fire department. In 2011, our fire department responded to 11,656 incidents. 11,656 incidents. For 2012, for this year, we are well on track to go well beyond that. We'll easily top 12,000 runs this year easily. Also, something that was touched on earlier to note that the fire department has always appreciated is the citizen support that we've have always received. Decades ago, the citizens of Hamilton supported the fire department with 2 income tax levies that still support the Hamilton Fire Department financially. And recently, as already been noted, the citizens overwhelmingly passed a property tax levy that added a 3rd squad to our service. So the citizens of Hamilton have always appreciated and supported the Hamilton Fire Department. And of course, we have always appreciated and have tried to serve the citizens of Hamilton. So, to become chief of such a traditional, proud, yet modern fire department, my words, it's such an honor and such a responsibility. Now, I will discharge the my responsibilities with one resolute fact. The delivery of quality emergency services to our citizens and the safety of our members is and always will be our #1 priority. And I'm fully aware of some of the serious challenges the fire department faces in the future. But I'm also very confident of the future of the department, because I have such a firm confidence and high confidence in the officers and firefighters that make up this fine department. And as you can tell, I've always had such a high respect for the members of this department and the complex and dangerous jobs that they have to perform. So quickly in closing, I just want to say that I'm sincerely humbled and thankful for the opportunity to become chief of such an outstanding fire department. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief Dawson. Now we move to the segment of the evening of the promotional ceremony. At this time, I'd like to have the family of Captain Jeff Shaw please come forward. Badge pinning of Captain Shaw is going to be by his father, Melvin Shaw. Jeff Shaw was hired on February 17th, 1990. He was promoted to the rank of lieutenant on April 16th of 2000 and to the rank of captain on June 7th, 2008. Jeff is a fire safety inspector, and he holds all rescue certifications: river rescue technician, river rescue instructor, hazmat technician, paramedic. He served as house captain at Station 22, our headquarters, which is the largest, busiest, most complex station in the department. He served as hazmat captain at Station 25. He served as Chief Schuette's go-to guy in starting the Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard, and has, since its inception, served as its only commander. Chief Dawson.
Jeff, the rank of Deputy Chief is one of executive top-level command in the Hamilton Fire Department. It's a position of very important responsibility. As a shift commander, the Deputy Chief is tasked with the day-to-day operations of the fire department at the shift level, commanding, supervising, managing, leading over 30 firefighters and officers under his command. He is at all times an example to the men and women of the department by all he says and does. He leads by example, yet uses the knowledge and expertise of those officers and firefighters under his command to the advantage of all. Commanding a fire scene is the greatest responsibility one has as a deputy chief. Constantly evaluating conditions of the fire ground and adapting and changing strategies and tactics appropriate for a positive outcome are most important for both firefighters and citizen safety on the fire ground. Captain Shaw, you have prepared well. You have demonstrated a confident and skilled ability as an incident commander when acting as the shift commander in the rank of captain. Continue to learn and educate yourself in the areas of management and leadership, roles that are critical to your new position. Work cooperatively with your firefighters, but also demonstrate a firm and committed effort to lead by decisive and definitive action.
I'd like to say thank you very much, first and foremost to my Lord. Without him, none of this is possible. Secondly, to my wife. Without her support, any of you that have studied understand that without your family's support, making your way up the ranks is not possible. I'd like to thank Chief Schuette. We've said this many times. I always get the accolades for the honor guard stuff, but it's not me. It's the members of the Honor Guard that make the Honor Guard. And I want to thank all you men, because you make the Honor Guard stand proud, and the city of Hamilton always looks its best. Again, I got the accolades for this, but without Jerry Gloka and Bill Quinn and some other members, this wouldn't be possible either. Especially the donations that we received privately to provide all of the food and the banquet room and the Marriott Motel and their personnel. So thank you very much. I'm really excited to run C Shift. It's been a dream of mine for a long time. Thank you.
Lieutenant Jerry Gloka, you and your family come forward. Lieutenant Gloka is being promoted to the rank of captain. His badge penning will be by his wife, Tammy Gloka. Lieutenant Gloka was hired January 9th, 1993. He was promoted to medic in 1997 and served till February of 1999. He was promoted to lieutenant on January 22nd, 2005. Lieutenant Gloka holds Fire Safety Inspector certification as well as all rescue certifications. River Rescue Technician, River Rescue Instructor. He's a fire instructor, a paramedic, a hazmat technician, and is currently in the final phase of becoming a member of Ohio's FEMA team, Task Force 1. Chief Dawson.
Jerry, your promotion to the rank of captain is one of influence and knowledge. You are now in a position to use that knowledge and influence for other firefighters and lieutenants. You can make a profound difference in others' lives and careers on this job. It is a serious undertaking. As captain, you assume a much greater responsibility for managing people within our department. You are responsible for the discipline, efficiency, and operation of your company, and will be held accountable for the upkeep and protection of all departmental property in or assigned to your respective apparatus and station house. You step into a greater role of leadership with responsibilities along with management. Stay current with new knowledge and technology in the fire service, and also trends in leadership and management skills. The safety of your crew should always be foremost in your mind, as it is with any lieutenant. But safety must also be foremost in your mind when called upon to make any policy recommendations for the chief of the department or other officers to consider. You will soon step into the role of acting shift command with its varied and extremely important responsibilities. Your shift commander will rely on you more now as a captain on the fire scene and even as a command officer on his shift. Your experience and your knowledge as you have progressed on the department are more important allies for you and for him. Your input and contributions regarding the operations of your shift and even the department are expected, valued, and important. I know your shift commander, the captains on the department, and I stand ready to help you and develop these skills.
Well, thank you. I'm going to make this pretty quick. I'm sure most of you, like myself, are getting a little parched. First of all, I'd like to thank Chief Schutte for your dedication and service to the community and the department and your leadership throughout the years. As I look across the crowd tonight, there's a lot of people out there that I would like to personally thank, but the evening's running long. I've had a lot of great mentors, coworkers, friends, and brothers, and I truly appreciate it. On a point that Chief Shaw now made, without the love and support of your family members, during a promotional period studying, you can't get through it. There's two people in this room especially that made this possible for me up here in front of you today. That's my beautiful wife, Tammy, and my beautiful daughter, Alexis, who I put them through some stressful times, I will admit, especially on the last day before the test. And for that, I apologize. But I thank you for staying with me. And, but it's family. So thanks again. And I look forward to, what's my assignment?
What's my assignment?
I look forward to serving the fire department. Thank you.
I think he said administrative captain. Firefighter Chris Enninger, can you and your family please come forward? Chris is being promoted to the rank of lieutenant. His badge pinning is going to be by his father, who's a retired Cincinnati firefighter, Don Enninger. Chris was hired on September 15th, 1998. He's a certified EMT, fire safety inspector, certified aerial truck operator, certified pump operator. He's a river rescue technician. He's a member of the Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard, and he was one of the original members of the Hamilton Fire Department Honor Guard. Chief Dawson.
Chris, the promotion to lieutenant is an important one, not only for you personally, but for the department in general. The promotion from firefighter to officer is perhaps the biggest step one takes in their fire service career. You now become a true leader of men and women firefighters who will be working with you daily. They will depend on your knowledge and good judgment to effect sensible resolutions to emergencies and even personnel problems that tend to arise in the fire stations occasionally. You have prepared well. Your history of performance is proof positive of your dedication and determination to improve yourself and to accept the new roles and duties and leadership of the City of Hamilton Fire Department. I encourage you to stay abreast of the current trends and ideas in leadership and management. Always strive to better yourself and your crew. Above all, take the responsibility and safety of your crew members seriously and never waver in the resolve to keep the citizens we serve, the firefighters we lead, and yourself safe from harm.
I'll also be very brief. I wanted to thank pretty much everybody in this room. Certainly my family, mom, dad, my brother, wife and children, my in-laws are here, and to pretty much everybody on this department, from the newest member up through the most senior, guys active and guys retired. Your encouragement, guidance, and knowledge that you've given me is the main reason that I'm up here today. So I thank you one and all, and I also want to thank IAFF Local 20. Without strong members, without strong members and even stronger leaders, this might not be possible for me today, so thank you.
I want to be the first to offer my congratulations to Fire Chief Dawson, Deputy Chief Shaw, Captain Gloka, and Lieutenant Chris Inninger. This fire department just keeps getting better. All fine men. Chaplain Short, benediction, please.
Let us pray. Lord, we thank you for this day. We thank you for our health, life, and strength that you've bestowed upon us. We ask that you would go with us as we leave this meeting. Be with our city, be with our leaders, that they would do the best they could do for our city. Give us health, give us life, give us strength, Lord. Everything rests in your hand. You're the life giver. These things we ask in your name. Amen.
Finally, I'd like to publicly thank Danny Suffin from the Suffin Corporation, 1-800-BOARD-UP, Kroger Company, both east and west side of Hamilton, Honeywell Corporation, Webco Fire Equipment, Valley Janitor, and IFF Local 20. Special thanks to the Hamilton Courtyard by Marriott and TV Hamilton. Everyone enjoy the reception. Have a safe drive home. Thanks for coming.